Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV here in Florida. And wow, it's cold, it's nippy, it's cool. I mean, it is cold. I mean, this is just a really dry, I think it's maybe 50 degrees at that, so it's chilly down here in Florida. Yeah, welcome to Ice Age TV, Combustion Engine HTV, which some could debate that highly some days, that where's all the conversation of these cars and trucks that you have and motorcycles. Well, there's tons of videos out there to see that. If you want to just stop watching this one and look for the car videos, they're out there. Yeah, down here in chilly Florida, it sounds like it's even get chillier this coming week. Sounds like this Christmas week that's upon us, hard to believe, beyond believable, is going to be cold. Up north, it's going to be snowy. People may get a white Christmas. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? It's pretty cool to have to shovel it and move it around, but oh my goodness. Here we are in the Monday morning routine, getting things in order for the day to get going. And the kid yesterday cleaned her motorcycle. That was her big thing to do. I need to clean mine, but this type of color paint just doesn't show the dirt as easy. Just like this paint here. I mean, this truck's actually very dirty, but it just doesn't look that dirty, but it is. This truck is a lot of fun. Getting a lot of compliments down here too. Anyways, get the money going here, and what are we going to talk about today, right? And I thought to myself, today's conversation, which it's not always an easy thing to try to get any entertainment out of a video on my YouTube channel. I thought the gym. To myself, why don't we come up? Monday morning conversation. Some people think of the gym. What the heck does that have to do with the car show? Hey, here's the first morning where, for my mom, when she was sitting here at her spot, that with the sun, that sun's so powerful that I'd have to say that definitely helps tint it, but does it resolve the problem? See, my mother wants to put a curtain across there, and I just think that's going to be a constant challenge. So anyways, got my coffee here. I love my little Keurig machine, and really does make good coffee. Now, made the family chili last night. Had the family over and had made a good big pot of chili. And we got a bunch left. Not really, but some. But yeah, it's time to go sit out at my desk here. And well, I tell you what, Mom, well, I think they toned it down. Man almighty, it is so hot in here. I have my window open. It's hot. My mom is very happy in 80 degree, 85 degree weather. I mean, I'm not lying. In the summer months, it can be 84 degrees in this house. Woo! Yeah, anyway, so why did here's the thing. I thought to myself this morning, hey, it might kind of be a conversation that I can so relate with in my life is the gym. I thought to myself, the gym, and some of you may be thinking, well, why did you bring that up? Yeah, I know. I'm also serious. I thought to myself, yeah, well, the reason I brought it up, late yesterday, my daughter's right eye started having the pink eye look. And I'm thinking, here we are. And she's looking at me, what do you think? I'm thinking, I think you got pink eye. I said, going to that gym, you pay dearly. If anybody here watch my channel has been a gym member, and a person goes to the gym and works out, so I come going to the fitness club. It just, for me, so many years ago when I used to do that, I mean, the gym was, to me, borderline the gym, I should say, the fitness. I'm sure many people can relate with this. Was such a key foundation to my upbringing in my life. And believe it or not, I took it upon myself to start lifting weights and exercising. It was never something, believe it or not, my dad wasn't that type of person. I mean, he played sports and growing up and all, but he was not the guy that he worked so much and traveled so much. He wasn't the guy going to the gym. So it was really me that was more intrigued by Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, his bodybuilding book, that I think one day just kind of made me think, man, I want to go lift weights. I want to look like Arnold. Yeah, having no idea that what's involved in that, besides just doing push-ups and squats and curls. There's so much more that he put in his body to create that. But I had no clue of that at a very young age in my life. But the thing is, at the gym, you just seem to always get. What I noticed over the years working out at the gym is you just always get sick because there's just it's a no-brainer. You have people in the gym that are sweating, they could be coughing. I mean, you just have all that, basically, as we know, people go to a gym and they're working out and you're in a confined, not really confined, but you're usually in an indoor environment. And between the showers and the bathrooms and the gym equipment, even though more so than ever, they try to wipe things down, and you're supposed to wipe things down, and it's all changed since when I was growing up. But for me, when I was growing up, it was just like the winter months, I just always got sick. And it wasn't until it was like years and years later that I kind of put the two together that going to the gym, I just always get sick. And that's why for my daughter yesterday, well, actually, she walked in my bedroom this morning and turns on the light like, hey, Dad, it's the old like emergency moment of the morning. I'm thinking, what the heck's going on now? And she says, look at my eye. She's like, I'm like, yeah, you got pink eye. The only thing I can think of is because I told her yesterday, is like, yeah, you probably got at the gym. So, here's my mama. She's up and about, and does she even know I'm over here? I'm not sure she does, but anyways, so that's what got me to think this morning, the gym. And I just thinking, wow, I'm sure a lot of people watch my channel all can relate with at some point in their life, and probably many ongoing in life, go to the gym. And I think to myself personally that was such the beginning of discipline in my life, of doing something that kept me in a routine. And then sometimes, I didn't even want to do it because I was just tired or circumstances, or I want to go do something else, but I just continued to work out. And that's what I think that a lot of us get. The enjoyment is the discipline, that we discipline ourselves to go work out and go through the routine. And it just makes you feel better. I mean, to the point that for me, and I hear this conversation so much, if somebody misses their workout, they feel guilty. If they don't go to the gym, they feel guilty. And even my daughter, she is so adamant about working out. Even she will look at me and go, well, it's getting late in the day and I had so much going on, I'm going to miss my workout. Is that bad? I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt to miss a day. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like you're competing for a triathlon or something, or the world's strongest man competition. Whenever the world's strongest ladies competition is, I don't think I've seen that. Maybe there is one, but I don't think I've seen that. You know how the world's, these guys are crazy. You see these people do their bodies, or you think to yourself, by the time they're 50, 60 years old, how are they walking around? I mean, just beyond believable what they do. I gotta get my freaking coffee. I just got going. There's my dad. See there? Get to look at my dad each morning. Mom and dad there, and around the house, the big house, yeah, small house, whatever, if you want to say that. And it's easy living, one level living. That's all I want, is one level living. For me, it's like the idea of sitting on one level, going up downstairs. Yeah, as you get older, I just think it's so. I don't think it's the greatest idea as you get older, be going up and downstairs all the time. But I just like one level living. Kind of grew up with that. I mean, that's kind of been more of my lifestyle growing up for the most part, not 100%, but anyways, the gym to me and just working out, it's just when I got going in my life, I was working out in my bedroom basically, just with the Joe Weider. I mean, good Lord, think about that. Think about what that guy created in this physical world of the weight sets, of the barbell, the dumbbells, the plates, the plastic weights, the bench, the incline bench, all the different things that Joe Weider, I don't know if you say Weider, whatever. Then for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then think about the Franco Columbu and Lou Ferrigno. And I mean, you can go through the list. Jack LaLanne. You just go through the list of all the people that were well known for being bodybuilders, and people that created the gym, that created the passion for the beginning foundation of what today is LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, Gold's Gym. Look at Gold's Gym. How many times that operation gone bankrupt? And I mean, World Gym. I mean, there's just so many gyms out there that it's infinite. But here's what's but here's what's pretty here's something I can share with you. So I always felt when I was younger that I would own a gym, and I did. I just about owned a gym like 2 times. It was actually 2 times in my life that I came very close to actually being a partner and opening up a gym. And that was always kind of a thing of passion I had because I like to lift weights and exercise. And oh my gosh, there's just one time I came so close to being a partner. Would have been like 4 of us, but it was such a, it's so, is God on your side? Anybody's been down the road of just about something radical happening pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, it's beyond believable up there where I live in Virginia, how a local police officer, well-known local police officer, well-known big-time power lifter, and had a wife, and he already had some gyms. They were called Champions Gym. And I used to belong to one of their gyms, and another friend of mine too. We were lifting friends and work friends and everything else, and so we got caught up with them trying to expand to like another third or fourth gym. And I mean, literally, we'd meet and talk, and we were going to be, minority partners, but we'd be running the gym and blah, blah, blah. And we'd start getting our experience. Yeah, this is great. I mean, we're doing all this stuff, and the gym's being built out, and they're doing the pre-membership thing. Yeah, who's heard these stories, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, before we're getting ready to sign documents to kind of officially become partners in this club, this guy gets busted because he's a drug dealer. He's using his gyms as money laundering to cover up his cocaine drug distribution. I mean, I'm not embellishing. Here's a guy that was known as a well-known police officer. Yeah, I've heard these stories. And, just a well-known individual, big guy, too. And a beautiful blonde wife, the typical, how you want to categorize it. And, I mean, just before my friend and I are getting ready to send documents to be part of this Champions Gym, this guy gets nabbed for drug dealing. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, so we came so close to being involved because then I would have been part of that because they would have figured I'm part of his operation. So I would have been investigated. It would have been a fiasco. Oh my gosh. I mean, so that would have been my gym experience to be sent to prison to be working out in the prison gym, right? You have to be like, there's your gym, buddy. Yeah, you own a gym now. Right. Yeah, enjoy it for the rest of your life. Oh my gosh, crazy. So, but then there was another time where there was this is like 1990, where the economy was turning, the real estate was turning, and there was this major build out of this big shopping center, and the whole economy tanked. And I try to remember what the number was even back then. So there was this empty big shopping center where I drove by it every day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this would be the perfect place to put a gym because the shopping center's dead. No tenants are coming in, and it sat there for a few years. And so now a friend of mine and I, we approached the owners. Actually, I think the Chinese or they're Asian owners or something. It wasn't like domestic people that owned the property and shopping center. So we tried to finagle a deal to rent this space out, but oh my gosh, they were so delusional of reality of what we were trying to accomplish and what they even get out of it. Well, anyways, we couldn't get the deal to go down, which just wasn't meant to be. But sure enough, like a year later, that shopping center was foreclosed on in bankruptcy. And sure enough, a furniture guy bought up the whole shopping center. And then sure enough, exactly where I wanted to put this gym is where the gym was put in. So it was called World Gym. And that guy had about a good 10-year, I'd say about a 10-year plus good run of making really good money. And then, of course, as the area grew, more gyms came in. And eventually that guy's gym, I think he either bankrupted or closed it. Then I had another friend of mine that was up near an airport that opened up a nice little gym. And same thing. Here's a guy that owned just like, small like warehouse space. But that's where I kind of came from. And I came from coffee again to keep going here. So hold on. A good friend of mine that I used to work out. I mean, my real beginnings of a gym was working out of a warehouse called Tyson's Olympia Gym. And really, and that's where it was just a small warehouse, but it was just all free weights. But that's what I was into. I wasn't into the Nautilus, style equipment. Even though I went to those type, where you go to the athletic clubs, the tennis club, golf club, whatever club you may belong to, and then they have like the nice Nautilus and maybe a little free weights and all back. This is back in the late '70s, early '80s. Just a whole different kind of ball game compared to what you have offered to you today. And then the membership rates, wasn't cheap. You had to make a little bit of money to be able to join the gym. It wasn't radically expensive. Or you had the YMCA. But anyway, so here's another situation where another one of my friends that I used to know and I worked out, his name was Ben. And he opened up this really cool gym up where I live, up near an airport, next to a nice warehouse, nice operation. And I went by there, really liked it, and I actually kind of felt him out. And I actually literally offered to put some money in his business to kind of help it out. But the biggest thing I saw was he just wasn't disciplined to manage it. He disappeared too much. So he just had like somebody else try to run it, and he'd just go play and do other things. And I kind of saw that, and I even wanted to buy it out. I really thought it would have been, because it wasn't a huge sum of money. It was just kind of a niche type of club. But then that didn't play out as well, and which just wasn't meant to be. And that's what I think to myself in my adventures of life is, I've always been the person wanting to go to the gym, never realizing that my daughter, I'd never realized my daughter would become the gym person. I never thought that. My daughter played sports, and I coached sports, and as time progressed, she really didn't get into lifting weights until the pandemic came in. It was the pandemic where I changed my daughter's ability to, have sports in her life or have athletics in her life or to have something for her to be doing to exercise. And when the pandemic came in and shut down the basketball and all the youth sports, I made the decision to kind of pull her away from that, and I got away from coaching. So her junior and senior year, she didn't play basketball anymore, and I really got her into lifting weights, which I never knew when I kind of got her into that she would become kind of like what I was when I was younger. Oh my gosh, I had to go to the gym, and if I didn't go to the gym, I felt guilty, and that's kind of where she is. But I think to myself that the gym and just the working out, I think it's just a great building tool, a great building block for anybody out there that I'm sure somebody can relate with this. And it's incredible. I have friends that are my age that they go to the gym like every day. They'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. They go to the gym. Incredibly disciplined that they want to go out there and continue and exercise and take care of their body, even though there's a fine line there. Even for me, oh my gosh. For the powerlifting I did and exercise I did, or sometimes my mind sometimes now as I'm older in life, it's like, oh my gosh, for the amount of labor I did on my body and for my businesses that I've owned, the amount of manual labor I've done, as I get older, it's like, wow, the body's feeling that. But here's the sad story. So, and this is what I was thinking to myself was the true beginnings of me understanding in life and how people do things to advance themselves over others, but yet what they've done, they're not really being upfront and forthright of what's going on and why they are better than you. And I kind of thought to myself, what's the theme this morning? And I thought the gym would kind of be a good theme because I think to myself like Twitter. So Twitter, which Elon Musk now has put out, which I'm sure people are hearing about this, that he's putting a vote out. Should he step down? Should he stay or step down? Let's be able to run Twitter. And he's claiming whatever the vote ends up being, he will abide by the vote. So if people majority say yes, step away, then he will. If the majority say no, he won't. And the reason I bring Twitter up, because I look at the gym when I was growing up. You just have no idea. Back when I was in high school, and this is like 1980, 81, 82, and I started doing some pretty good free weight lifting, and I joined a gym, Tyson Olympia Gym, and I witnessed my age group friends, or as far as schoolmates that I knew of, that just started getting explosive like power, and their muscles just started, they just all of a sudden just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just was befuddled that I'm there working out just as much as they do, if not harder, and I'm not seeing these results. Having no idea, thank God, that they're doing steroids. I did not know that. So I mean, I literally did not know that. I mean, I didn't have a trainer. I didn't have anybody in my family that lifted weights per se. So there wasn't anybody there to guide me to say, "Hey, look, this is what's going on." So I just didn't know. In many degrees, I'm glad I didn't know, because I could have easily got caught up in that. Because there's just sad stories of people that went that direction, and sad things have happened. I mean, even to the point that there was this one gentleman I'll never forget. This one man coming to the gym, and here I'm like 18, 19 years old, and I see this man that comes in. He's probably like 28, 30 years old, and he's not a big guy, but he's a Xerox salesman. And he joins the gym, and I notice over time how he starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this guy just starts to get, like a Columbo, if you know who Columbo is. I mean, this guy, over the few years' time, he becomes so incredibly big and strong and muscular. And eventually, at a point, he's so addicted to the gym, he buys out the owners that own the gym. And now he runs the gym, and he lives there. And so now his name's Paul Wheaton, and I was friends with him as far as the gym side goes. And so then over the years, I continue to go to the gym, and I just never forget witnessing him eating cheesecake. He would buy 2 cheesecakes and devour them. I was like, wow. I mean, how do you do that without killing yourself eventually? Well, sadly, he was doing such big time steroids, he actually eventually had to go to the hospital, and eventually he had to have a heart transplant. And so, but I didn't know this. So now this is like 1984, 85, and then I didn't see him anymore because I moved on in my career, and then I was going to different gyms, and I didn't go to that gym anymore. Then I lived somewhere else. So what's the odds of this? In 1990, he moves up the street from me in a townhouse, and I haven't seen him now like a good 4 or 5 years at least. Yeah, I'd say no. Yeah, 3 years, 2 or 3 years, because actually we did go work out there. So anyways, whole point is, he kind of distanced himself from me because he explained to me that he had a heart transplant. He's taking 100 pills a day, and should he ever kind of get sick, he'll probably die. So now he's a very small stature man again, and I feel for him, but the steroids, destroyed his heart. But he was the first heart recipient that in 1990 or 91, he apparently did the equivalent of the Empire State Building, of climbing stairs after he had his heart transplant. Apparently, if I remember that right, he was like one of the only at that time that had that done, and he just was able to do some incredible physical things. But sadly, excuse me, he passed away a few years later. So, but there's the thing though. I think to myself, there's something where I was, in my eyes, I didn't understand why others would be bigger and stronger and better than me, not knowing that they were, basically cheating for the most part. And they were competing in, powerlifting, and one of my friends, he literally set the squat record in the state of Virginia for his age group, but not knowing that they're doing all these drugs to accomplish this. And the reason I bring that up, and I thought to myself, yeah, but now you look at the social media, and I think to myself, if I was a young person, and now seeing what Twitter is done, I would think to myself, wow, this is so kind of correlates to me as a young person in life, that I thought I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. I didn't think I was good enough. I'm thinking to myself, here I go out and I work out, I do the same thing they do, but I think I even do more, and I stay very disciplined, and my eating habits and my sleep habits, and just have everything down, and my routine, and I'm not even making close to the to what they're accomplishing. And so you just kind of start to think, wow, I just don't have what others have, which is kind of a psychological, thing that kind of makes you think, are you as good as you think you are in this physical world? And I think to myself, wow, the Twitter is such a sad story that I think it's so unfair that what people have done in these social media to younger people in this world, it's so unfair because you're using bots and you're using misinformation and you're using the minority to convince so many young people and older people too that there's something going on, and even for them, they probably question if that seems right. But we're seeing from the Twitter that it was deliberately done to twist the truth and to fool people into persuading them to think a certain way when it's not correct, and they're cheating the system. And I think Twitter, that's why I talk about Twitter more than ever in my whole life, is because it's just, for me, it's just beyond believable. But yet, it's kind of quiet out there. I mean, it just kind of seems quiet that so many people are in some ways like, yeah, whatever, who cares? That this Twitter platform, it's a worldwide platform that is used to manipulate people. Yeah, whatever. Turn the page or sweep it under the rug or kick it to the curb. Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, well, I think we all should care because sadly, this has really opened Pandora's box and how corrupt the social media platform is. And what's the discipline for people that get on there, which is not that great. And that's what I think to myself today, in today's younger generation, what's the foundation of their discipline? What is it? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's incredibly talented young people out there that go work out and play sports and do fantastic things. But I'm saying at the same time, we now have the social media machine more than ever that it's like the steroids. It's like, to me, look at the steroids and all the drug cheating. You can go through the list of athletes, the Olympics, professional sports, people have been banned because they cheated by trying to use a substance to better themselves over others. Well, in many ways, the social platform is being used the same way. It's a drug, where people have been using things to their advantage to try to promote something that's not really what it really is. And now here the Toyota president, Toyoda, Toyoda, his actual family name of Toyota, Toyota. I think it's Okio or Akio Toyoda. He's like the grandson of the founder of Toyota. And he's saying that he thinks this EV thing's being misled. He right now, it's very interesting. The Japanese manufacturers are very leery of the path of the EV, all-out EV. So right now, Toyota and Mazda and Nissan, those three Japanese-based manufacturers, they are skeptical of just going all-out EV. They think it's a big mistake. They think it's a huge mistake to commit to all the infrastructure when they don't think that that's the answer, and they truly believe that the hybrid gas electric setup is a better option for people and a continual option for consumers to have more than one option of an EV vehicle only. So I talked about this a while back, that the Toyota president's being called out by Greenpeace. They're suing him, and the Green Agenda, he wants to sue Toyota because they're not playing by their rules. And there's even a special, they've got the special relations department trying to, mediate and try to keep Toyota from not looking like they're anti-green. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes with Toyota right now. But the president's point blank saying it's a mistake. It's a big mistake, this is good to hear. And he said that it's sad that most of the manufacturers are just following an agenda, which he thinks is so wrong. If they're the manufacturer, they know the market. And here's what's interesting. they're already showing statistics that 2023, the demand for EV vehicles is not going to be that great. Why? Well, we know why. Because the barrel of oil is down to $70. The $2.50 gas is back. So the rush to go buy an electric vehicle because gas is going to be $5, $6 a gallon forever. Well, that's gone out the window. That agenda lasted how long? Didn't last very long, did it? I mean, it lasted long enough for people to be irritated, sure, but I was talking about this past spring and summer. It won't last. It's not going to last. And here, sure enough, it won't last. So, point is, here's another example in life where there's a minority trying to push for the majority. And that's what the Toyota president even says, that the minority is pushing something that the majority don't want. He said the majority are silent. He said, sadly, the majority are silent, but the minority is the ones pounding their chest and pounding their fists to try to get things done their way as fast as possible. All right, just kind of thought I'd throw out the gym idea, the foundation of, I think most people can relate with that. If you've played sports, I've always liked sports, just because I think it's such a great physical thing that. And I think what's great about sports is you see right away who's got it and who doesn't. Versus we all can talk about what we're going to do tomorrow in business and what you can do or can't do. But when you put yourself on the football field or baseball field or basketball court or the wrestling match or the sprint race or, whatever it may be, or go to, motorsports, the racing, the cars or motorcycles, it becomes pretty clear who's the better of the most and who isn't so great. That's what's so great about sports and athletics and all that stuff. The competitive side kind of shuts down whoever brags and runs their mouth the most, right? All right, everybody, it takes forever. Here's just beyond believable. So the Spectrum down here, oh yeah, we went from 200 megabyte download to 1 gig megabyte, but you know what? The upload's nothing. So the upload side for Spectrum down here, they don't do anything for you. So this video, we don't post until probably noon. I made a church video yesterday that it didn't even populate probably to 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. I don't even know. I haven't even looked. So for Spectrum down here, what a joke. What in today's technology. So all they're focused on is people download videos. They don't upload videos. Where are these people? I mean, the YouTube, who out there isn't uploading videos? I mean, that's huge. That's huge these days. And so my videos take forever to upload. Beyond believable. So when I'm down here managing my videos and content, it's much more challenging. When I'm up north, I can make a video in the morning, and it usually publishes by, if I make it at 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, it's usually live by 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. But this one here, I'm sure it'll be noon. So anyways, thanks for watching my channel. And it's Christmas week, I guess, because a week from yesterday was Christmas Day. And wow. Beyond unbelievable. Then the week from that day, it's going to be the first of the year. Jesus Christ. Man. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe.